My Degree is Black TV. We are live with you from Facebook, from Instagram. Facebook and YouTube. Glad you guys can join us today. I'm Jamian, Prairie View alumnus and co-founder of My Degree is Black.
What's going on, y'all? John, co-founder of My Degree is Black, lover of all things Black. It's a wonderful night to be here with.
Don't give it away yet, man.
Oh, my bad. I got all excited. Okay,
introduction for this man,
Mr. Super Black. I like that. Shirt.
I'm definitely super black. I'm really super black.
That's what's up. So before we introduce you, let the people know who you are and what you do for the culture, where you graduated from, and all that good stuff we want to know about you. We'll do. Some people came on and came off, but for those who are on, let us know where you from, where you representing, what HBCU you graduated from. If you didn't graduate, you're still there. We want to hear from you. I see one of your alumni partners. She graduated a little bit before you. Her name is Latoya Davenport. Latoya, when you graduated, I don't know. I see you on here. She went to Alabama A&M. She's actually back in Alabama. She worked at NASA with me. That's where me and Latoya met. And I saw that you interned in NASA, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
Awesome. We'll get back to that later, though. In the interview, we'll talk about that a little bit more, so you can tell us about that experience as well. So we don't have no roll calls. I guess I told about where Latoya is from. So yeah, you just a little bit older than him, Latoya. You ain't gonna tell us when you graduated. He graduated 2014, but if you're not gonna tell us, 2000. She graduated 2000. Okay, yeah. All right.
It's gonna be a problem.
Hey, auntie. What do you say? On Black Panther, hey, auntie. So, no. John, can you tell us a little bit of who we are and why we're doing this? Let the people know what My Degree is Black is.
Latoya said, "Auntie."
Auntie Latoya.
Y'all not gonna start cutting up this early. Y'all not. Don't leave us, Latoya. Oh man. So yeah, My Degree is Black is about changing the narrative of the HBCU experience. It's about celebrating our culture, telling our own stories, to change that narrative. It is a platform where we unify in solidarity, the HBCU experience and the beautifulness that happens when you step foot on an HBCU campus and you see all of these different shades of Black and all these different types of Black that are there in this unifying way. So our goal is to really take that experience, right, and then transcend it across the world as we all connect, because we do know that as soon as you tell somebody you went to an HBCU, you got the keys to the kingdom, so that is what My Degree is Black is about. We share stories, we create events, things like that, and now we have just launched this My Degree is Black TV. So thank y'all for joining in as we continue to share stories about HBCU alum and their greatness, the greatness that is our historically Black colleges and universities, the Black Yard.
Yeah, not the backyard. We're going to the Black Yard.
The Black Yard. Come on, that's trademark.
Not to keep the people waiting. And if you on here, please share this to your timeline. Let people know that we're on. We're going to try to continue. I see it's going up already. We're going to try to continue to do this every Thursday at 7 p.m. Central Time. And so we're blessed to have the Cisco and Ebert of Houston Black restaurants, the Bulldog alumnus, Mr. KeAndre Jordan. Give him a virtual round of applause. Hit him with a virtual round of applause in the comments. But no, we gonna start this thing out right. So instead of me telling us how a little bit about yourself, we're gonna start with a segment we call Raised and Made. So you're gonna tell us where you was raised and then who made you, and then tell us a little bit about those different processes. So raised is where you come from, made is what HBCU you went to, and how that went.
Okay, so I'm KeAndre Jordan, and I'm from a place called Utah, Alabama, EUTAW. But since I've been in Houston, you can't tell these people that I'm not from Louisiana. So I'm from Alabama. Like a small country town in the Black Belt, which is like economically deprived area of Alabama, but it is predominantly black. So I was made at Alabama A&M University in Norman, Alabama, a little area section of Huntsville, Alabama. So I was made there with 2000 and started in 2011. No, not 2011, but 2010. Graduated 2014 with a degree in civil engineering. So I've been in Houston ever since 2014. As soon as I graduated, I've been here ever since then.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, awesome, man. We had a comment said that she was a country boy because she is from Alabama. Yeah. Fellow alumnus, Latoya. She said all y'all have is a dog track.
I mean, we got more than Dollar Trap. We got a Dollar General. We got a Get Well. We got a hospital.
Oh man, this is going to be hilarious. I am looking forward to this interview.
Oh, and I lied. Latoya just shaking. She said she's from Ohio. She just loved Alabama. Okay, I'm sorry. All right, get back to KeAndre with the man of the hour. The man of the hour. Actually, let me tell you how much. Actually, I'll get to that later. I'm kind of anxious to talk about how this dude has already influenced me in so many ways when this comes to our culture. So I try to tell him as much as I can how much I appreciate him, especially me and my wife and my children. But tell us a little bit about, you told us where you were raised. Tell us about how you went from, how did you first find out about an HBCU? What was your first exposure to an HBCU?
So my aunties went to A&M. Well, pretty much everybody in my family went to HBCUs, whether it was Alabama A&M, Tuskegee, Stillman. Everybody went to HBCU. And so my mama's sisters, they had gone to Alabama A&M, and I would be going, we'll take them from a little bitty boy, we'll take them to Huntsville and drop them off. And then when I got, of course, of age, we would go to like homecoming, the classic, and things like that. We were introduced, me and my little brother, we were introduced to like marching bands. We was introduced to like the football team. We was introduced to like the dormitories, the greasy spoon that was on campus at A&M on the hill. So we were just introduced to a lot of different things, fraternities, sororities, and stuff like that. So my aunties, especially my youngest auntie, who still lives in Huntsville, she really introduced us to a lot of different things. And when it came to HBCUs, she said that, hey, if you ain't going to no HBCU, you ain't paying for it. So she said, but I went to school for free anyway on academic scholarship. But she said that you go to HBCU, you ain't paying for it. So it was ingrained in us. So it's very traditional.
So I try to research, I guess, as much as possible, whether I know him or I don't know him personally. And I saw you put in the story that you had went to. Did you go to University of Alabama for a semester or something?
I be coming up on my stories. Yeah, I be coming up on my stories. So my bad, I'm in the studio. So yeah, I be coming up on my stories. But yeah, I went to I was on the full academic scholarship to like all 4 of my years. And so it was my freshman year going into my sophomore year where I had to I had to take a class. I had to take a physics class in order to get to start. I think it was physics 2. Because if I didn't take that class, then I had to do an extra semester, and the scholarship didn't pay for that. So I decided to go to the University of Alabama for they had 4 weeks or something, it was a 4 weeks like class where I had to take physics 1. My auntie said she wasn't gonna pay for that, so I had to pay $1,200 out of pocket. but that great. So I was very like, it was a very different atmosphere for me going to UA, like totally different. I just didn't like it at all, and I struggled. So I got a B, but it didn't matter anyway because they just wanted my credits to transfer for that class, and I get credit for that class. But yeah, my auntie said she wasn't gonna pay for it. She didn't.
That's what's up.
Funny. Yeah, when you said that, I was like, yeah, I remember you told that story about your auntie didn't pay for that one class that you had to take. I was like, man,
and they called me, her and my other auntie, they were calling me all A's and 1B because I made all A's and A&M. I made a B at UA.
You was a smart country boy.
Yeah.
You know, you could do a couple of derivatives, and you could.
Oh yeah, I love the derivatives. Calculus is my favorite class. Ain't like my engineering class, but I love my Did my auntie text me right now? But I ain't like my engineering class for real, but I love my calculus classes, all from 1 to 3. Calculus 1, 2, calculus 3. Yeah, so
that's cool. That's cool.
Well,
yeah, I tutor math now. We got a comment that says your auntie real though. She stayed. Her word is bond. So it's like,
so she ain't playing. I'm black because of her.
That's what's up. That's what's up. With that, and just you mentioning that, we brought this up last week. I want to bring it up again today. Once you stepped foot on, even though you knew about it, you got exposed. I was telling John in the conversation that even though I'm black and I feel like my parents exposed me to just different places, I didn't go to a black school. I went to a multicultural school, but at the same time, you can still be a part of the culture and have a culture shock. Did you experience any of that when you went to HBCU, or do you feel like I knew everything that I needed to know? Tell us about that once you stepped foot on the HBCU campus and what that feeling was like for you.
So when people don't really, so with me being from Alabama, people already have this negative stereotype that Alabama is racist. Okay, so outside, I haven't experienced blatant racism in Alabama. I only experienced the systemic racism that every black person goes through every day. But again, I'm from the Black Belt. We really didn't experience white people at all. Like we never saw white people in town. My high school was 100% black. My town is over 100% black. The county over 80% black. The county over 80% black. The mayor, the sheriff, everybody in office was black. So when I went to a HBCU, it wasn't that big of a difference. It wasn't a big culture shock to me. However, we did at A&M, it was diverse in the engineering department because we had kids from Africa, we had kids from the Caribbean, we had some non-black minorities as well, like from Colombia, Nepal, and things like that. So the HBCU experience was diverse in itself, especially the engineering department. But I really didn't feel that much different, because it's like I'm still in Alabama. Everybody's still black, so for the most part. So I really didn't experience too much of a culture shock. Living in a dorm, there was a culture shock enough.
Well, I want to go on record and just say that I omit that I was very interested in joining in being a student at Alabama A&M because I heard them play Lovely Day, and that is by far the best arrangement and rendition of that song that exists.
Let's talk about Lovely Day now.
This was don't start, don't look.
I don't like the new Lovely Day. They can take that away. I like the old Lovely Day. They sound like a choir now. They sound too much like a choir. I want them to sound like a swag band, like how they used to play it. They used to blow people out, but now it's just so cute. I don't like it.
Yeah, I remember listening to it back when it was when we didn't have like all of these websites and YouTube and all of that stuff. we had Yahoo groups, and you go into Yahoo groups, and then you click on the videos, and then you can listen to it. That was my first time listening to it, and I was like, I think Alabama A&M is where I want to go for one song.
Yeah, y'all, don't lie, y'all. So I'm a little nervous.
What's going on, Auntie?
Oh, my auntie on here. I done got nervous now.
Yeah.
Nah, keep that same energy, brother.
Keep that same energy. They know you.
Okay.
Come on, it's just a family reunion. We already know it. That's what's up.
Yeah.
Is that the auntie that didn't pay for U of A?
Yeah, they're so.
Well, we know who to go to if he start cutting up.
Yeah, it's a privilege to have you on. A privilege. Tell us this. You told us that a lot of people from your family went to different HBCUs. How did you end up settling on Alabama A&M?
Come on, auntie told me not to go nowhere else, pretty much. But no, not really. She didn't tell me. No, she just told us not to go to no white school. She said don't go to no white school. But they already told us to go to A&M anyway, because it was engraved in us. We had gone to like the classic homecoming, like we was going every year since I started since high school. So we already knew we was going to A&M. And then my other cousins, and then some another auntie, so who actually paid the way for everybody to go to A&M. She actually went to Stillman first, but she transferred and went to A&M, and so they just paid the way for everybody else to go.
Okay.
So what he really saying is they was like A&M royalty. They was running the yard. We understand now. We get it. It makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we like who your peoples is. Oh, you the Jordan people? Oh yeah, we can't mess with y'all. Yeah,
that's how you got the A's. Don't tell the truth. We got it. We understand now. We understand.
That's how I got the what?
That's how you got the A's. Ain't nobody going to go talk to auntie because you got a B.
No,
A minus.
No, my one auntie, they gonna get mad, but
she say don't tell all the stories. She already said that.
I think both of them are math majors. One did computer science as well, but I was a lot of people didn't know my aunties when I went up there. So I made my age fair and square. Well, so, being on the bell curve.
Yeah. That's what's up. Hey, listen. In engineering, you needed it. I saw another post you had put on your stories about y'all studying, and you said you don't miss it at all.
No, I don't miss it. It was like we was being hazed. I remember one time we did a take-home test, and where people fail to realize that take-home test is probably the worst test you could ever get because they're real long. And we spent the night in the engineering building where we called the ETB, and I think I made a 52 on that test, but we had to redo it. We had to redo it, and so it was just we literally spent the night in there. I went back to my dorm at like 7 or 8 o'clock, and then everybody else just pretty much stayed and went to class after that. So I don't miss that at all.
Let's talk about that real quick. I had it somewhere in the other questions later, but I want to, since you kind of went there with it in the studying, can you let people know, for some reason there's this misconception that if you go to HBCU, it's going to be smooth sailing. Could you let them know about your experience when it came to academia and the competency level of an HBCU and how it sets you up for success?
So when going to A&M, it wasn't easy at all. Like them teachers, what they did was, so they'll teach like a long problem, like they'll teach one problem and it's real long, the whole class period. Then when we get to the test, they give us two problems, and then each problem was like 2 steps. So we'll sit there. we'll sit there and learn the whole long problem that we learned in class, and then when we get to the test, we can't do it. but it was a simple 1-2 step. But people did have a misconception that HBCUs are hard. Like at A&M, engineering kicked our tails. Like we literally like was in the LRC, like the library on campus. We was in LRC almost every day, trying to do homework, trying to do labs and all that stuff. It was real stressful. I wouldn't want to do that again. But yeah, people always get the notation that HBCUs are easy. No, are easier. However, they are easier when it comes to getting to know your professor. Because a lot of professors like, well, if you come to my class, to my office hours, then we'll remember you. And if we see that you're trying, then of course we're going to help boost you up. But like being able to know like who your professors are, because each class was less than 20 students. We knew everybody pretty well, so that was the easiest part. So and then those same kids that you seen your freshman year, you took like your freshman core classes within engineering. Those are the same people that you graduated with. So you already made a bond as well.
Yeah.
Boy,
John, that remind me when you talked about being called because you was late to class, John.
Man, look, that's Dr. Frazier. That boy called me to get your sorry in this classroom, man. Ooh.
Yeah.
That was yeah, nah. But I appreciate that, like having professors that are like that. But it sounded like he had his own brain wall. So KeAndre at PV, we had that taught thermodynamics. Was it thermodynamics? Jay,
yeah, he taught thermo.
He was the guy.
Yeah, this is what chemical engineers took that.
What'd you say?
Yeah, so you say y'all both went to PV?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all both okay? So I like this is like a serious question. Why do y'all call yourselves the Hill? Because when I first like when me and my friends from A&M first went to y'all campus and said welcome to the Hill, we like where the Hill at? And so we got offended because we actually most of our dorms are on the hill, like on top of the hill. So we have to walk down the hill every day, up the hill every day to class. And so folks would fall down the hill and stuff like that. So we was thoroughly offended because y'all call yourselves the Hill, and it's really just like it's a prairie because that's why it's called Prairie. We just want to know. Do y'all want to see the picture of our school though?
No, we okay. We're
no, because it's a hill.
It's fine. Put it in your stories.
Listen, I'm still waiting on Latoya Davenport to take me to the Magic City Classic and to the homecoming, but that ain't happening yet.
Y'all the real, because I know most of y'all people probably went to PV. Do y'all? Hold on. Let me see. Do y'all see it? This really the hill. Y'all see the hill? We're in the Appalachian foothills, so it's a difference.
Man, y'all can be the mountain. You know what I'm saying?
That's fine. Like we just said, we.
No, here's a better one. Hold on.
I'm gonna mute your video in a second. Okay? you trying to start now? I just said this is unification. And you want to come talking about the hill.
But we just always, because then y'all know y'all call yourself like Alta Vista, but it really ain't no hill though. Y'all say y'all can see the school, so
well,
I can just see
they existed once a hill.
What'd you say?
At the time that it was that Prairie View, was established, they existed once a hill.
Yeah, but it's flat now.
Because we've had so many young minds come in, and we've cultivated so many lives that they've just flattened the hill out. But it's there in memory, in honor. We can't help people love our school.
I do want to ask, like there's a place on campus called A&M Food Mart, but it's none of y'all colors. Does that belong to Texas A&M?
You are going all the way in today. You are going all the way in today.
You would swear that he went to Texas Southern. You know what I'm saying?
No, I'm just saying, I got a little soap in my eye, but we got real offended when we went to homecoming, and it said "Welcome to the Hill," and we looked like where the hill at.
So, but you had a good time at homecoming.
We really don't walk out here because we had to walk up and down. What'd you say?
But you had a good time at homecoming.
Yeah, he did. I mean, I got sick afterwards because I'm allergic to grass. So, y'all got too much grass outside. So as soon as I left, I got sick.
Well, this is the end of the interview. Thank you for being present. What you not about to do?
Oh man! Oh, it's so good. It's
well,
good.
I want to know, is Alabama State really better than Alabama A&M? Because that's what the word on the street is.
Have you ever been to Alabama State campus? It looks just like TSU campus.
What's wrong with TSU campus?
TSU campus is right there by CUNY Homes. Like right there, like right across the street.
That's a beautiful thing. You're able to cultivate the lives of the people that need the help.
No, not with that. Yeah, but you know, like of course we can talk about HBCUs. We can talk about HBCUs, but nobody else can. Can't nobody else talk about HBCUs, but Alabama State is like in the hood.
you want your college experience outside the hood.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, so we went on that pinnacle, and
y'all on that pinnacle? Okay.
Yeah.
Y'all still ride horses out there? What y'all agriculture?
No, y'all ride horses down here. You want me to show a picture? All around I stay off at Airport Road, so I go to Sunnyside all the time.
Well, Sunnyside is the country though. But Sunnyside, they're supposed to have horses.
Hold on, they roll horses off 1960 one time.
Yep, that's the country.
That's not the country. You know, 1960 ain't the country. That's like the north side of West Town. y'all have horses all over the place. No, I saw a horse over there by TSU off Scott over there off the Metro Rail. I saw a bunch of horses over there. So that's in the city.
All right, Jay, I'm done, man. You go on with questions. I quit.
TSU ain't here to defend themselves, man. They're not even here to defend themselves. So we're gonna leave that one alone.
He ain't either. He ain't here to defend themselves.
Get the mask. Get the mask. They on sale right now.
You done changed the whole segment. No, let's go back to the hill, to the Alabama A&M hill. Let's go back there real quick. And I want to know pretty much how would you say the Alabama A&M impacted your life while you were there, and then even post, like so during and post. But what would you say that something that stands out that this helped define or strengthen a character trait in me?
It definitely strengthened, I would say, the black but the black perspective of me, because like being from the black belt, we were just used to seeing black people all the time, but actually going to A&M and seeing black people from all over the place, it made me realize that it's so much more than just my small town. And so then it actually prepared me when I came to Houston and seeing all these different black people from all over. You got a Creoles, you have Caribbean people, African people. So Houston's black population is reminiscent of the black population or the black experience in A&M, minus all the Creoles that y'all have here. So yeah, it definitely did. It definitely strengthened that.
That's good. And then how did it prepare you? We talked a little bit earlier about the internships that you had with NASA and a couple other places. I worked at NASA for 15 years. That's where I met Latoya Davenport there. She worked for United Space Alliance. So we met there. And just how would you say that the HBCU, not only experience, but the degree plan prepare you for your internships and even your professional career?
So this is my other auntie right there. So what happened, Okay, so the NASA thing was real, was really a blessing in disguise because the career coach. I had a good relationship with the career coach, and he called me. He said, "Hey, I'm gonna put you in this program to where you can be able to go to NASA because NASA is reaching out to Alabama A&M and FAMU to get 10 kids from each school to intern to get to give black kids a chance to intern at NASA." And so he just put my name in the box. I didn't have to interview or nothing. And so I wound up going to NASA. And so there's a good thing about HBCUs is that you cultivate a lot of different relationships, and those relationships help you to get into doors that, a lot like probably your degree can get you in, or probably your GPA. Because I really did, like, even though I'm an engineer, where I was an engineering major, I had a civil degree, and people really don't understand civil engineering for real. And so a lot of those jobs at NASA require you to have a mechanical, electrical, computer science degree. And so because I had a relationship with the career coach, I was just able to get in just like that. But as far as A&M preparing me for the NASA experience, it really did. It was a culture shock because I would say 80% of the working staff was white, and that was something that I wasn't used to at all. And so, like it was crazy when we went to NASA. All 10 of us, we like when all 10 of us had walked in the building at one time, all the black people mouths just dropped. And so they started to come to us like, we never seen this before. Like, we spent the night over like different engineering managers' house. They took us to church. They took us to like Disney World and things like that. So because there was a small community of black people and a large pool of black kids at one time, they just took us under their wings.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice. Wow. So like to your point, I think that excuse me, going to an HBCU, being around people that look like you, right, on the entire spectrum, right? I think that it's centering, right? It reaffirms like your black identity, right? And so for you, growing up you grew up in what I think many people in Houston would call heaven, in the idea that your mayor, your sheriff, like all of these people in your town were black. Like everybody was black. That's not something that any of us, if you were born in Houston, like you're not going to experience that, right? Like that's not something that we've been able to experience. And so to your point, like I get the idea of now going into a space that's a white space, that's not a black space, it's not a HBCU. Like it's all of these different people, and most of them don't look like me. The shock that's there. I will ask though, on the other end of that, was it easier to navigate that space because you knew who you were? Like, did you find it a little bit easier to kind of like to not be intimidated, I guess, as much because of your upbringing?
Yeah. I would say what helped me at NASA was the fact that we had that a lot of those black officials were in my building. So when they saw me, they made sure that they like told me, okay, this person is racist. Try to minimize your conversations with them. And then also like my supervisor, my manager, he was Puerto Rican, so he listened to everything that I said. I told him I don't want to do anything civil related. Like I don't want to be stuck in a box as far as like folks trying to make me go to Alabama Department of Transportation or some type of road building entity. I didn't want to do that at all. And so I told him I want to do everything mechanical, electrical. And so because I had the willpower to go outside of my comfort zone, he was able to get me like into places that most people that worked at NASA have never been in, like the clean room, seeing the Orion space capsule get built and things like that. So I was able to like because I did not want to do civil at all. Like it propelled me to I would say just do things that I never thought that I could. But I didn't like I say from a black perspective, those different officials, like every time if anything, you know, like if I was down or something, they always came and lifted me back up. So they made sure they because they wanted us to come back and work. So they made sure that we were good. Yeah.
Good. That's what's up.
Yeah,
Good
yeah.
stuff.
You mentioned not being in the box, and that kind of brings out the next question. So we've been talking about engineering, we've been talking about the space program, we've been talking about just your experience and your studying and the study groups and all of that. But now you're a social media influencer. Tell us how that
About
transition. Yeah, about food. Tell us about that transition from, and not, you still have an engineering mindset, but you went from engineer by trade and degree to now being one of the top. Like I tell people, I go to every time I go to your IG page and be like, where's he ate at lately? Like, how did you go from there to this, and how did this come about? Like, tell us about this and My Southern Brand.
Okay. Yeah. So, you know, like the economy here is really based on oil and gas. And so, like, when I first moved here, I worked at Chevron. And so, now one thing, school, that this ain't an A&M problem, this ain't an HBCU problem. This is more of a university type of thing. They don't teach you about layoffs in school. So they teach you to get the degree and all that stuff, and you have a good job. Like they teach you that. But when I got here, the gas prices at the pump was like over $3. And when I started to work, like after a couple of months, it just started to plummet. I didn't understand it because where I went to school in Huntsville, it's similarly to like Clear Lake, like NASA, Boeing, and all that stuff. So we didn't know about oil and gas like that up there. And so I got caught up in the numbers at work, and so then it just kept happening. Like different contracts were in because like the project work was being either delayed or canceled, pushed back and stuff like that. And so like I was going through like 6 different layoffs or ending of contracts. And so with that being said, I had to try to find something else to do that could be able to, you know, I can sustain myself and actually build like an empire. And so I decided to, you know, my love for being black and my love for food, just combine those together and say, oh, I could be a food blogger for black-owned restaurants, because it's hundreds and hundreds of food bloggers in Houston, but nobody was solely like targeting the black community. So when I did that, it's like I grew so fast because y'all hadn't seen that before, like where a food blogger in Houston was solely looking at black-owned restaurants, and it's so much black content here that you will never run out. But because Houston is diverse, all the food blogs was kind of like getting on, you know, like getting on the diversity train, and so I just didn't want to do that. And then also like being a black person in corporate America was very like it could be condescending. A lot of people they're very cutthroat, especially like a lot of the black professionals. They were very cutthroat. They were more cutthroat than the white people were, and so I didn't like how they felt. So I was like, I won't treat the black restaurants the way America and just, you know, give them the spotlight. You know, so that's how I came about doing this food blog with this food platform.
Man, it's dope. I know, John, you seem like you got something. You know, when people take that deep breath and they want to say something, so I see you. So I'm gonna let you go ahead and talk, and then I'll go after that.
I will say.
Yeah, see my auntie on here, so I can't say too much.
No, man, I will. I appreciate that, right? I appreciate aunties being here. Thank y'all very much. Yeah, see my eyes looking away. That's me thanking the comment section, which is all his aunties. We appreciate that. But I think that like I really appreciate your intention for black people. I appreciate the grace, the platform, the patience, the empowerment and encouragement you give black people, black entrepreneurs, black business owners, black caterers, black chefs, like all of those things. And the reason being, hey mama, your mama here too. I appreciate that. So I appreciate that because I'm in several different black business groups, right? And we are really hard on ourselves, unnecessarily hard, against a standard that doesn't really exist. Like the first thing that black people say when they have a bad experience, I'm not gonna generalize everybody. That many black people say when they have a bad experience at a black establishment is, if I were white, they wouldn't have. Like there is some type of white standard that happens, and that's not true. The reality of it is most black people giving black people hookups. The reality is most black people put that extra bit on your plate or whatever the case may be.
Depending on where you go to.
And I appreciate that you say, hey, let me show up for black people, and I'm going to focus on these black restaurants. Like I'm not going to pull that diversity card. Let me go across the place to all of these, but I'm really going to use us as the platform. Like that's powerful. That's a really big thing. And if nobody else has ever said thank you, to what that looks like globally, like I want to make sure that I do, because that's a big deal.
No problem. Yeah.
Charlene, auntie, he's not gonna cuss. He not gonna cuss.
No, I cuss on the last one, but since they on here, I kind of gotta be like real. No, they know I got suspended for cussing before in high school, so I really want to cut up. I really want to cut up though. I really do, but they on it. So
we'll do that.
I would say that do it where?
I say we'll do it in the after show.
Okay, yeah. So I can really cut up. But being so one of my friends, Jeremy Kraft of Black Book Houston, him and his wife Sheikah, they do Black.
You know what school Jeremy went to?
I think he said he went to Texas A&M at Prairie View, so I think he went to the satellite campus. He went to the satellite campus. You know, you gotta respect the slaves.
You a guest, so I'm gonna be nice because you a guest. But as soon as this off, and I ain't gotta worry about your aunties.
Oh man, let me see if I can tag Jeremy right quick on this thing.
I'm going in on you, brother. Just want you to know.
I'm gonna let him talk. Keep talking. I'm gonna tag Jeremy, see if he can come on here. Go ahead.
He probably he answered his phone call, but what I was about to say. He told me, he said, KeAndre, you're not a food blogger, you're a food influencer. No, you're a food influencer for black-owned restaurants, and you influence people to patronize black-owned businesses. And so, with that being said, like that's a tough job because you have to be an activist, you have to be a historian. Like I had to know the black history of Houston to be able to tell people from Louisiana, like, okay, look, most of Houston came from y'all, so it's like, okay, they can cook. It's just that you're going to BB's and Papado, which is not the authentic stuff, so you always gonna be disappointed. So if you just go to my page, I got some older grandmother that got her own restaurant that's from Lafayette that can actually that cooks the food that you're used to. So just follow the page, and so it's just really hard. And then I had to be like Yelp as well, because my followers, they don't go to the restaurants and tell them. They don't go to Yelp. They tell me everything. Like they tell me, okay, well, the food wasn't good. The owner's fingernails was dirty. They had a mop bucket left out in the common areas. The bathroom wasn't clean, and so I gotta be able to tell, like, wrap that up, put it in a bowl, and tell the business owner that. And they're just a lot of work. It just I didn't, you know, of course I didn't sign up for it when it came to like actually establishing this platform, but that's what comes with the territory.
Yeah,
it comes with that. So And then I realized like the things that the black community is hurting in is also affects us in the black food industry as well. So it's real tough.
Yeah, I just made a post about that in another black business group that I'm in. It says, hey, black people, like the expectation that when we get into business, that all of the things that affect us as a person don't transfer over is ridiculous, right? Like the same triggers and trauma and issues with resources and the way we communicate and self-worth and self-value and validation and all of those things that carry over into the business side of things, as well. And so as black people, my belief, and the way that I stand on it is that we have an obligation, you know what I'm saying, so that we all rise. So like what you're doing when your uncles or your family members go to an establishment and they're like, hey, I'm not gonna go in on them on a Google review or whatever. I'm gonna tell my nephew so he can go talk to this owner and be like, hey, look, you're gonna lose some more people if you don't get this together. Like, I think that's how it should happen. And I can respect that. And I know that like you said, that's not what you signed up for, but the fact that you willing
but I have to do it. And so what I found out is that how can I say this? So you can definitely tell restaurants that are like run by black women and by black men. The black men restaurants, they seek white validation so much. They want to have a lot of like they focus on diversity to get the white dollars, whereas the black women, their restaurants are run like very smoothly. They don't have any Hispanics cooking. They don't have like they are really like very gentle and graceful with their restaurants, and it's easier to communicate with them. Whereas a lot of the black men restaurants is really like it's not unless they're a married couple. If they're a married couple, then they both work together, and so it's easier then. But a lot of the black male-run restaurants, they're not really that. They're not ran really well because they want to seek white people. They want white dollars.
Yeah.
So but then that's something that happens in the black community in general, and so that plays the black community is like that happens in the black-owned restaurants area. So So it just this is what I've noticed.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're absolutely right. I think it happens from a university level, right? Like it's I think somebody posted, it was one of your aunties, I believe, that said that black people aren't monoliths, right? And to that point, we have so many different ways of thinking and so many different levels that we live in. I think the easiest way to say it is I was watching a video when it was an African, first generation African American. Her dad was Ghanaian, her mom is Nigerian. She was born there, moved here, and she was like, and so I see all of my brothers and sisters who are African who say so much, who have so many negative things to say about African Americans here. And so, and she was saying, like a lot of times they're like, hey, if I came over here, I could do X, Y, and Z. She said, well, do that in your home.
Yeah, we did that a lot.
Right. But one of the things she did say that was really what I appreciated a lot about, and I think it's to the point that you just made, is so we all are at different levels of enslavement in some way. I don't care how woke you are, I don't care how whatever, we're all systemically oppressed in some type of way, and it manifests within how we communicate or how we live or whatever. And so like I think about people that I went to to PV with who would absolutely say I graduated from Texas A&M at Prairie View, because for them the Texas A&M name means more, and the validation that they seek come with that. And while there are the majority of us that's like, no, my school is black. Like, people need to know that. Like, this is what that is. And I think with men, especially, that there is with black men, especially, to your point, there is a stronger level of validation from white men that we
see,
have that. I mean, but you know, black men got the right to vote before white women did. So the first non-white male, non-white person that could vote was a black man. And so like that, I think it adds these layers of ingratiation. I don't even know how to say like this. We owe you, like, and it's so many levels to it. But I mean, to your point, like I get it, and I appreciate the fact that we have somebody like you as a liaison in the in between to then go grab this information, package it how it needs to be packaged, and then pass it on. Because I know that
sometimes I don't even pack it. I don't. I just tell it how it is sometimes, like, because they don't understand it. But what I do show them like, okay, this is what I showed them my DMs. I said, this is what they said. And I was at Groove's. I took pictures of Groove's food, and this girl that I know, she said, oh, this restaurant's food ain't good. The chicken was too salty. The macaroni and cheese was had jalapeno cheese in it, like not jalapeno cheese, but nacho cheese in it. Then she said something about the yams was cooked too long, and so she had to repurpose all of that. And she did this for Mother's Day, and her mother passed away, so it was all sentimental to her. And so, but then the killer part is that she got that suggestion off of my page, and so I had to really correct that. And so I took a video of her saying all that stuff because she's a chef herself, and then I took that video. I didn't record her face, but I recorded her talking. I had to share it to the owners, and so they was like, "Hey, we hear it, so we're gonna make sure that we fix those things because we don't want to have that negativity out." Because she was done. She was done with them. She was like, I'm not messing with them no more. But she really said the effort. You said, you got to do something about this. So I did the best that I could. And so the restaurant did offer her and her friends that were there in May, they offered her like free food. But she was like, I don't know if I want it if it's going to be the same food again. So they're going to have to really come with it. So
right.
I let them hear everything and see everything. But of course, I make people anonymous.
Well, man, we appreciate what you do. I think I've told you on my personal page before. I didn't hit you up with something too. It wasn't a complaint. It was just somebody was closed doing non-business hours, and I think you reached out to them. I appreciate you so much before the show.
Oh, I know there was that pizza place.
Yeah, there was. I didn't want to call him out. Come on now, KeAndre. But I went to CB's barbecue, got me some catfish and some fries right before this off of what's that, 4405 Emancipation. I was like, let me represent. Yeah. Like we literally get something once a week off your page, bro. I went to Shy Italian last week. So man, thank you for what you do. Thank you for taking the things on your shoulders that you do. Man, we couldn't appreciate you more, man. I'm happy to see what's going to continue to come through. I know you're not finished. You're creative. You got an engineering mind. You went to an amazing HBCU that was actually on the hill. I give you that. You know what I'm saying? So
I appreciate it. I didn't know you were going to say that. I should have recorded that so I can always have that with me.
I'm editing out of this video, so you ain't got to worry about it.
But we got to wrap it up a little bit. So I got two things I need from you. The first one is if every HBCU had to serve something in that HBCU cafeteria, what should it be? Other than Fish Fridays, what soul food dish should every HBCU be mandated to serve in that cafeteria?
I ain't even gonna tell no story. I don't even like soul food like that. I don't even like soul. No, cause I ate it all the time. So
gotcha. So what's your favorite dish? You just tell us that. We'll go with that.
So that everybody, I would say probably fried chicken. Of course, fried chicken. You didn't say fried. You didn't say I couldn't say fried chicken. So
okay, you're right. I give you that. All right.
Definitely fried chicken. But I was gonna say fried fish anyway. But no. They can have fried fish, but don't have sway. So have catfish or white. Because I remember and them served us that, and them kids like that's fake fish, and it wasn't good. So definitely real fish, like actual real fish.
Yeah. Now I got you. You got to ask those type of questions when you go. Like when you ask if it's real eggs or not. These carton eggs or these real eggs? Is this real fish or not? Like what you got? So yeah, I feel you. So we're gonna end it like this. You pretty much say who you are, where you're from, and some descriptors of yourself, and then you say my degree is black. That's how we end the show. We try to give the people something to end at an hour. Somebody just texted me, John, and said, "Is that an MDIB cup?" Man, chill out. So anyway,
you want it long? You want it this way? You want it that way?
Man, hit me all the time.
You can get one of these.
Can you hold that cup up again? Can you hold that cup up again?
Got a mask too.
He said,
you got a mask. I'd rather have a surgical mask.
Bye.
This my degree is black.
This the end of the conversation.
Come on, John. Hold your cup up and we're gonna finish it.
KeAndre, I didn't want you on this interview. I was trying to be nice and let you in here. And now you come in cutting. No, I'm playing, man. I'm playing. I'm joking.
I know. I just mess with you.
All right. So I'm gonna start it off. John's gonna go second, and KeAndre, you're gonna end the show with you. So you just follow our lead.
Okay.
My name is Jamie Aladdin Sims. I'm an alumnus of Alta Vista A&M College for Colored People. I bleed purple and gold. I love eating Black American food. I love going off emancipation. I love going to Alameda and eating all the good food. I support and in alignment with my Southern brand, and my degree is black.
Well, I mean, I don't know if anything is left. Jamie then took them all. But let's see. My name is J. Albert Nichols. I am super black. I bet everything, my entire livelihood, on us, and will continue to do so. And my degree is black.
Yeah, so it's my goal now. So I'm KeAndre Jordan. I'm from Utah, Alabama. I'm just like Issa Rae. I root for everybody black, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent. And I am the black influencer in Houston. Platform is my Southern brand. Definitely find me at Instagram, Facebook, and on Twitter. And my degree is definitely black.
All right, man. We appreciate you taking an hour out your day, man, and letting people know who you are, what you represent, and a little bit about your HBCU experience. We hope that you've inspired some teenagers, some parents that weren't even thinking about an HBCU, and that's what we want to do. We want to change the narrative of the HBCU experience. So we're doing it through stories like yours, man. So we appreciate you.